Hello everybody and welcome on in. So, I've been playing some Stamina Nightblade. I put myself together a pretty budget build with Archer's Mind and Sensei's Bite that has a whopping 172% critical damage. And then I was notified on stream that ZeniMax actually put a hard cap on critical damage. Now, I actually thought about it, and it's for the same reason that you would over-penetrate with your armor penetration past the hard cap. People have critical resistance. So if I have 172% critical damage, my opponent will need a minimum of 3,000 critical resistance in order to stop me from dealing hard cap critical damage. And of course, in Cyrodiil, it's very common for people to have at least around 3k critical damage on their build. Anyway, enough with the numbers. This build actually still hit really hard. Even against opponents that were fairly tanky, it could put some decent chunks into them. Now, against a really tanky opponent, I think that a penetration build would still be better damage-wise, but this build actually ended up really surprising me when I was trying to put the damage into those chunky boys. But the big advantage, of course, to going for the critical damage spec is that absolutely disgusting amount of critical healing power. So, let's get right into that PvP commentary. The first fight here, just kind of a damage showcase of the build, showing a really nice combo on that guy there. The bow heavy attack into the ambush, the light attack, surprise attack, and everything crits, and you see the huge damage of this build. That's definitely when I noticed this build didn't perform the best offensively. Even against the tanky guys, it could hit really hard, but I had to land those crits. If I did not crit, the damage was pretty significantly nullified. So I think that I might maybe even invest into a little bit more crit chance on this spec. It is a dual wield spec, so that does help a lot. I'll see what I can do with it in the future as I kind of min-max it. Either way, I'm just doing my best to kind of not get too much attention here and then be able to go around and just rotate an 8.7k heavy attack on that guy. I just go for the partial charged heavy right away into the Assassin's Will, and big damage on that guy. He goes down. The bow heavy attack again into the light attack, surprise attack, and look at the damage difference there between the crit and no crit. The crit is doing well over double the damage of the non-crit against a lot of these opponents, so it's very important we land those big crits. A nice opening combo on that guy. Don't get the crit on the merciless shot there, and unfortunately he puts his defense up, so I just end up moving away from there. An enemy Nightblade pops up here. Quickly go for the stealth detect to pop him out, and he doesn't go for a dodge roll here. I hold the heavy expecting him to roll, and then there's the spectral arrow shot just to finish him off. And at this point, we get more friendly reinforcements that end up showing up. So I end up peeling out of the fight, and I've got another clip for you guys here. And this one is a solo fight inside of the bridge at Alessia. Absolutely love this place, and here you can see me just kind of doing my best to kind of kite the Zerg out, running through them after putting the shade down, and then we get that safety teleport to the shade when everybody kind of converges. And as I go across here, I throw another shade down that's kind of in a dangerous location, but a lot of the enemy players kind of lost where I was there. They ended up running the other side, and here we go, a nice kind of bow heavy attack into the ultimate, and then a big crit on the light attack, surprise attack, and I managed to bring one player down with that combo, and then just re-stealth, re-put my shade up. He ends up getting rezzed. I jump on top of him again, but unfortunately their heals come in right away, and yeah, I'm gonna have a tough time trying to just keep a body down anyway, especially at that location on the bridge with so many AD riding through. I go back up the top, try to go for an ultimate on this enemy Sork. I get decent damage into him, but there you see I take a bit of damage myself, and I go for the new healthy offering heal that Nightblade has, an incredible burst heal. I mean, this is nuts that they gave this to a Nightblade, and this is a huge reason why I'm liking running this crit spec so much, because the healing power on it is insane. These are situations where I'm used to on Stamina Nightblade being in a very dangerous spot, but look how quickly I can easily heal up. And it just creates kind of a dynamic where if they don't kill me very quickly, it's easy for me to quickly come back. And yeah, this new patch has been a huge change for PvP, I think. There's been a lot of new stuff added, and a lot of different builds are viable. But anyway, you can see I'm just doing a bit of work with the shade there, continuing, of course, to put the new shade down. This guy ended up waiting by my shade. He gets me with an overload off of the streak stun there, and I go back to where my shade was, and I try to get this guy with a heavy attack. Good damage. Not actually the best. We didn't land the crits with the moves that mattered there, so unfortunately, not the damage I really wanted. This enemy Nightblade ends up coming. He goes and holds blocks, so I just kind of hold block 2, waiting to see what he does, and he ends up going back that direction. I go for the shade to get back inside the tower here, and then just wait with the bow heavy around the corner in stealth, seeing if anybody followed me. The enemy Nightblade did, but I believe he maybe came around the other direction. I go for the stun on, an enemy Dragon Knight, and I get decent damage into him, but unfortunately I'm in a very exposed position, so since I wasn't able to get a nice clean combo there, I end up just pulling out with the shade. Always setting that fresh shade down on the Nightblade. This patch, man, there are so many AoEs, and Cloak feels super unreliable at times. So I think that the shade is an absolute must-have to play any kind of a kitey Nightblade build. And here you see the Necromancer just kind of throwing blast bones at me. They're waiting all over this keep because they don't know where I'm going to pop up. And just doing my best, trying not to attract too much attention. I go back out the front door here, seeing if I can pull a few of them down towards the bottom. And friendly player coming in, there's Copus, and he goes charging in the side. I go for a ultimate combo from stealth on this guy, get a good amount of damage and a big crit at the end there. Managed to take him down. And here comes the enemy Sork. He ends up throwing the curse on me. Before the curse goes off, I try to go for a bit of an offensive combo there. I get okay damage into him, but unfortunately, he did have his shield up, so I just go back around the corner, reset that shade, and go to re-engage with this Sork. I want to thank you guys for tuning in and watching this. Enjoy the rest of the fight as I say goodbye. Of course, if you want to see some live gameplay from me, check me out on Twitch. Check out my Twitter if you want to keep up to date with me. And of course, my website, KristoferESO.com. It's got all of my builds on there. And this build doesn't have a video yet, but of course, when I do upload it, I'll be sharing it on the website too. If you guys want to send in clips for the top 5 battles, you can send them to KristoferESO@hotmail.com. This show is sponsored by What the Fast. They're a VPN for gamers. They can give you better ping to your favorite games, and they're free to try for the first month. There's a link down below for you guys. A big thank you to all of my patrons on Patreon. Thank you guys so much for supporting the show. Thank you everybody for tuning in and watching. As always, I hope you enjoyed, and have a great night, everybody.